Hello students. So we had started a discussion on alkaloids. Okay. So we had discussed one alkaloid. Today we are going to discuss another one, that is the high green molecule. High green. Right? High green belongs to a pyrrolidine alkaloid. Okay. This is one of the coca alkaloids. The leaves of the coca shrub contain this alkaloid high green. Okay. This was first isolated by Lieberman in 1889. The molecular formula of high green is C8H15NO is the molecular formula of high green. The boiling point of high green ranges between 193 to 195 degrees Celsius. This is the boiling point of this. It is optically active, that is, it rotates the plane of the polarized light. Okay. The structure of high green goes like this. CH2, CO, CH3. This is the structure of high green. The constitution and synthesis of high green. How this high green was determined. I mean the structure of high green was determined. First, its molecular formula was determined. So from the analytical data and molecular weight determination, it was found that the molecular formula of high green is C8H15NO. So first molecular formula was determined and it was found that it is C8H15NO is the molecular formula of high green. Then second one, the presence of carbonyl group was determined. See, if there is a carbonyl group present in any compound, I mean if there is a C double bond O group present in any compound, these compounds generally they react with hydroxylamine. So they react with hydroxylamine. What is this hydroxylamine? NH2OH. This is hydroxylamine. So aldehydes and ketones they react with hydroxylamine to form corresponding oximes. Yes, loss of water takes place and corresponding oximes are formed. So we don't know whether this compound contains carbonyl group or not. So what was done was when high green was treated with when high green molecule was treated with a hydroxylamine, an oxime was formed. That means high green reacts with hydroxylamide to give you oxime. So oxime is formed only if it contains an aldehydic or a ketonic group. So high green forms oxime means high green also should contain an aldehydic or ketonic group. Okay. Its further conformation was confirmed by the oxidation of high green. Okay. So when high green was oxidized, it was oxidized, they obtained hygrinic acid. They obtained hygrinic acid. They obtained an hygrinic acid. This molecule was obtained. Okay. See, hygrine reacts with hydroxylamine to give oxime. This shows that there is a carbonyl group is present. The carbonyl group may be aldehyde or a ketone. It may be aldehyde means if there is an H attached, it is an aldehyde, or if both are R groups, then it is called as a ketone. So aldehyde or a ketone may be present. So one thing you should know is when aldehydes are oxidized, the number of carbon atoms in the parent molecule is equal to the number of carbon atoms in the product. For example, think that I am oxidizing a compound containing 2 carbon atoms. I am oxidizing a compound containing 2 carbon atoms. So the product also will contain two carbon atom only if it is an aldehyde. But if it is a ketone, if I'm oxidizing, so what happens is, if I'm oxidizing a ketone containing three carbon atom, the product, I will not get a product with three carbon atom. This bond generally breaks. So here if there is an aldehyde group present, there will be no bond cleavage taking place. If there is a ketone present, then there will be bond cleavage taking place. Now look at this. Starting material, I mean this hydrogen contains 8 carbon atom. On oxidation you are getting 6 carbon atom. That means there is a bond cleavage taking place. That means if there is a bond cleavage, then that carbonyl group should be ketonic only. So this molecule on oxidation gives you hygrenic acid. This confirms the presence of a ketonic group in the hydrogen molecule. Okay, hope you're getting this. Right. Then third one was the presence of tertiary nitrogen atom. Tertiary nitrogen atom. Okay, now hygrine reacts with 1 mole of methyl iodide. Hygrine reacts with 1 mole of methyl iodide. It reacts with only 1 mole of methyl iodide, forming quaternary ammonium salt. Forming quaternary. See, generally nitrogen compounds, generally they form quaternary ammonium salts. For example, if I have something called as RNH2, okay, so if I treat this with methylamine, methyl iodide, what happens is this hydrogen gets replaced, two hydrogen. So I will get here methyl group, here methyl group. Since nitrogen contains a lone pair of electron, you get another methyl pair. Okay, you get a quaternary ammonium salt is what you get. Okay, now this is primary in nature. So primary will react with 3. If it is secondary, like this. If it is secondary, so what happens is it will react with only 2 methyl iodides. One to replace this hydrogen, another to form the quaternary ammonium salt. If it is tertiary, okay, so it will react with only 1 methyl iodide to form a quaternary ammonium salt. Okay, so primary amines will react with 3 moles of methyl iodide, secondary amines will react with 2 moles, tertiary amine will react with only 1 mole. So hygrine reacts with only 1 mole of methyl iodide. That means the nitrogen atom that is present in hygrine should be tertiary in nature. This is how the presence of tertiary nitrogen atom was determined. Then hygrinic acid, when subjected to dry distillation, yields N-methyl pyrrolidine. This shows that hygrinic acid is an N-methyl pyrrolidine carboxylic acid. See, when it was subjected to dry distillation, this one. When this was subjected to dry distillation, they got N-methyl pyrrolidine. N-methyl pyrrolidine was obtained. So this clearly indicates that, so this molecule should have, it is nothing but N-methyl pyrrolidine carboxylic acid only. So based on all this, hygrine was formulated to have either two structures. It was formulated to have two structures. So since it is N-methyl pyrrolidine, it should be like this: N pyrrolidine structure with CH2COCH3, or it should be like this: N-methyl pyrrolidine structure plus COCH2CH3. Okay, either this or either this. It should have either this structure or it should have either this structure, structure 1 or structure 2, because there is a carbonyl group, C double bond O group. It may be here or it may be here. It is a N methyl pyrrolidine type of structure, and the nitrogen is tertiary in nature. Okay. So out of all these structures, hydrogen was found to have structure 1, and it was confirmed by the synthesis by Hess. Let us go for the synthesis of this. Now, the synthesis starts from pyrrole. Okay, a pyrrole is taken. It is treated with methyl magnesium bromide. It is treated with methyl magnesium bromide. This CH3 minus takes up this H to form CH4. MgBr. So you get pyrrole magnesium bromide is what you get. This molecule is then treated with an epoxide. This is treated with this molecule. CH okay, this carbon attacks here, this bond breaks and it becomes OH. We are going to get this molecule. NH. This attacks here, CH2. Then hydrogen or platinum. CH3. This is what you get, right? But what we require an aldehyde group as well as methyl. What happens is, this when treated with formaldehyde, it starts with pyrrolidine. Methyl magnesium takes up this H plus to form this compound. This is treated with epoxide. This attacks here, double bond, this bond breaks and it becomes OH. So it is then passed to hydrogen or platinum, so reduction takes place. So when treated with formaldehyde, you get the required compound. Okay, you get a high grade molecule. Okay, this is the synthesis of high grade. This is the synthesis of high grade, an important alkaloid. Okay, so